When I look at something like this, these proposals, I want to know why, and I want to know who's making them. And so when I looked into that, they're saying that the U.S. birth rate is declining. However, in 2024, there was a 1% increase in U.S. births, but that increase was with Hispanic mothers and Asian mothers. So they don't seem to be concerned about that increase. They seem to be more concerned about a decrease in other populations.
Say it.
No, I think I've said enough.
It's not based on that.
And so, well, it's just based on a study. And so the other thing
But
I will.
Have they said that anywhere? I mean, I feel like we have to be fair.
It's just
fair to who?
It's just a.
Have they said that this is to target only white families?
Oh, I didn't say that.
You have to read between the lines.
I just gave the stats.
They're not going to say it.
About economics. They're wanting people to pay in.
I'm just giving facts. And so also, when I think about who's advocating, Project 2025, remember that? Which was tied to the Heritage Foundation, the think tank, the think tank that led Project 2025. They open up the Project 2025 before anything else, talking about family issues. The first chapter promises to restore the family as the centerpiece of American life, and the Heritage Foundation in particular has been researching this issue for over 2 years and is preparing to release a report in the coming weeks on how it believes the administration should counter declining birth rates. So I just leave that with all of you.
There are global declining birth rates.
Yeah, but I think when we're talking about the United States, we need to think about who's proposing it and why.
They want future consumers.
I will say this. I paid in my money. I want my money back from Social Security. I'm sorry. It is not anybody else's responsibility but mine to make sure that I keep my payments up. That's the first thing. But let me talk about some of the things that the administration has slashed, which is why I am so not only insulted by that amount of money, because $5,000, yes, it sounds like a lot of money, but if you can't pay your rent, if you can't pay for your after-school programs for your kids, if you said to me,
but isn't something better than nothing, I guess?
No, not in this case.
I feel like if Biden proposed this, we would all be saying it's groundbreaking and a good idea.
No, I'm sorry. I don't like the idea that somebody is saying, I'm going to pay you to have more kids. I know we're not allowed to bring up the other times people suggested that.
So, when we look at the highest birth rates in America, it seems as if they're all Republican states.
Yeah, it's affordable. And they have strong values in these states as well.
South Dakota, Alaska, Nebraska, Utah, North Dakota, Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Kansas, Mississippi.
I think Kansas is purple.
Yeah, it's very.
Stop right there. Those observations too. It says Midwest and South dominance.
States like South Dakota, Nebraska, Texas have high birth rates, possibly due to younger populations, cultural factors, or higher proportions of ethnic groups with higher fertility rates. Example being the Hispanic groups in Texas.
See, that cultural factors, that's what stands out to me the most.
They believe in the nuclear families.
Yeah.
Families. And they believe of getting the crime rate off the streets.
That actually hits the most with Utah, because it says Utah's high birth rate is influenced by its young median age and family-oriented culture, particularly Mormon communities, religious, low crime, family-oriented.
So you're able to have a baby.
So in these places, it's probably also better to raise
a child.
Yeah. So, I mean...
Because it's this horrific video. Here it is right here, guys, of a child walking through San Francisco. Wow.
Yeah, I don't want to have a baby around this.
Come on.
Who would?
I'll be so mad.
Go, baby.
San Francisco's a beautiful
baby
city.
scared. She's talking about go, baby. The baby's scared.
Keep going.
I'm scared. Shit. One of them junkies might tweak out.
This is crazy.
Man, the baby is scared. This is hard.
She said poop. She said mama. She said what? Poop? They're stepping in dookie and junkies.
It's hard to see.
Hell no.
It's hard to see, man.
Not walking my baby around no junkies.
I think everyone knows, man, these Democrat cities, bro, these far left, not like the regular ones, like, but the extreme ones, Seattle, San Francisco.
A lot of people just take drugs and a lot of them just be on the street. It's crazy, bro.
Them homeless rates, bro, are high over there. Bi-county vote.
Mostly Republican.
So you'd assume that, like, knowing these statistics, they'd be more in favor of the birth rate, but they're the ones in favor of abortion.
Right.
Why are you guys? Hey,
So
man, I don't get it.
I think this also just shows, man, how the cities are run. You know?
Definitely.
Like, it shows the people who are running these cities, the policies that they choose are not great for raising a family.
And we're a prime example of it. We're in a red county right now. It's one of the safest cities in America.
It is. It got voted number 2 for most friendliest city one year.
Wow.
So
amazing.
I think I just would really want to know, though, what is it about Democratic policies versus Republican policies that causes such a disparity in these stats?
Democrats believe in homosexuality. They can't have babies. They believe against the nuclear culture, religion, all type of stable things for a stable society.
Aside from like the financial aspect of it and the crime rate, it's just like, I don't know, bro.
Every liberal city, homes are expensive.
They are, bro.
They too expensive, bro.
When I lived in LA, I lived like an hour outside LA. I did when I first moved there, and then I slowly started moving further and further away until I got about an hour outside.
I am not comfortable in LA anymore. I used to be.
It's crazy.
I sleep with one eye open.
Yeah.
I sold my house. I got rid of that fucking place in the valley. I was just home invasions everywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like what they've done to that city in a short amount of time is shocking. I never thought it would go that bad that fast, and it's the way it is now. It's bizarre. I always say that it's like a girl that used to date. She was really cute, but now she does meth and she works for the cartel. Like, what happened to you?
The pandemic happened.
You just remember her from when she was so sweet and cool.
Yeah.
Well, the pandemic was the reason why the government was able to fuck up that city. The pandemic was just, that was their way to fuck up the city.
Dude, there were stacks of bricks.
Yeah.
On the street.
Yeah,
like,
stacks
we all knew
of
where
bricks.
that came from. And
Stacks of bricks that somebody left there hoping someone would throw through windows.
Starting riots. And that's some weirdo shit, bro.
It's It's like, I don't.
Spooky and scary.
It's spooky. I don't like to go full Batman on this, but it's like there's evil villains out there that are pulling the strings of the world. And that's real. Those fucking protests are organized, man. People spend a lot of money to organize those things and then put bricks out. The whole thing was designed to disrupt society. And then the defund the police bullshit, how anybody bought into that is so crazy. Reform the police, yeah. Train the police better, yeah. But defund them? Are you fucking
let's just all
crazy?
not be safe. Because
Are you out of your fucking mind? Do you not know the law of the jungle? Do you not know the real streets?
Let me know when your house gets robbed. You wanted to fucking shit you're not going to get a cop. Like, he's not coming now.
I have had so many friends that completely flipped a 180 after they got robbed.
Right?
180. They're Trump supporters now. It's crazy.
It's like,
people that were like full-on liberals, and then they, get a gun pointed in their face, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, this is what we signed up for? You're just letting these people out? Yeah. Like, you arrest these people and let them out, and then they just do it again, and they get arrested? Like, what the fuck?"
Wow. LA red, man. We got to turn LA red, man. Hey, man, LA is a beautiful city. I would personally love to live in LA. I just wish it wasn't so crazy. Damn high.
Yeah, man.
It's high, it's dirty, it's junkies everywhere.
I would love to have some land out there for real, bro. Especially on Malibu.
Land in California.
Hey,
bro, it's expensive, but it's lovely out there.
I don't know a single person that owns land in California, not even famous. Can you name one?
My uncle had a house out there.
A house? I said land, buddy.
But yeah, man, so I think this goes to show, if you are trying to raise a family, you want to have good values, you don't want to have to bust your back just to pay taxes, it's safe to say you should probably do it in a red state or city,
Yeah, so we're going to have to take these cities back, guys, and that's just simply what it is.
Yeah, and how do we do that? By owning real estate. So we don't really know anything about owning real estate, but we are going to learn. So there's a guy named Jeff Rotowski, and he is an absolute genius when it comes to all things real estate. And his whole thing is he wants to get the power of holding land and back into God's people's hands. He really believes that this is what God has called him to do. And he basically teaches people how to own real estate so that we can have more cities, that are thriving and helping the community. So everything he does, man, is from God, and we really stand by it. We really like the guy. and he's going to show us exactly what we need to do.
Yeah, talking to Jeff like offline, not even like what y'all are finna see. I had like a genuine connection. I have a genuine connection with him, and he's like a super like down to earth guy. And I think that you guys should really hear what he has to say. He's just an awesome guy, guys. I've never met anybody that I was like, I genuinely look up to, and you guys should definitely check out this video.
So Mr. Jeff Rotowski, man, the real estate expert, a man of the Lord, a pastor, man, how's it going?
Hey, it's going great. It's always a good day when I get to be with the Cartier family. That's what I'm learning. It's good to see you guys.
It's good to see you as well. It's good to see you as well. So we're just doing a little bit of research, trying to get educated, and we know you know a lot about real estate and cities and what cause and effects on things. So we've noticed a trend that a lot of super blue cities are seeming not to be doing as well. Do you know why that could be?
Because the Democrats are running those cities. Yeah, as you said. I mean, it's just to give the quick answer. I mean, the economic policies of most blue states are really anti-business and anti-growth. If you look at it that way. I mean, there's a reason. All you have to do is go to uhaul.com, and you could literally, it shows you where the most one-way moving companies are going to. And they're going to Florida. They're going to Texas. They're going to Idaho. Mm-hmm. They're going to the red states, and that's for a reason. So as you guys said, I've been a real estate investor for over 20 years, and accomplished quite a bit, owned commercial properties all across this country, and so we study this very, very closely. And even my own company, strategically, investment wise, we are targeting red states. Real estate is always going to appreciate and do the best where there's the most people. So when you look at the Democratic policies that make it hard for businesses, California, for instance, I just left California, a few years ago. I mean, they tax businesses very, very hard. In terms of real estate, they are not landlord friendly at all. If you need to go evict somebody out of a property, they're not paying you rent. In some cases, it could take you 6 to 8 months to make that happen in California. And, as a landlord, how the heck are you supposed to sustain 6 to 8 months, type of thing. So, so the policies are really anti growth. And, it's just that woke agenda. And honestly, guys, we've talked about this before offline, but the Democratic Party, obviously, I'm not a fan, and was proud to vote for President Trump in this past election. But when I look at the situation of our country right now, and not just the blue states, but just overall our country right now, the main problem is we've drifted very far away from the Christian principles that this country was founded on. And the thing is that, I look around culture, I look in politics, I look business, arts and entertainment, and a lot of good people have stayed out of those areas, and they're mostly run. Just if we stay in politics, to me, politics is just the most corrupt industry I've ever been a part of, or not been a part of, but I've witnessed. And what good person would want to even run for political office at this point, knowing what you have to go through and all of that. But so what I'm trying to get at, guys, is that, even bigger than the Democratic Party, I do believe there's an evil agenda that is operating through the Democratic Party, that is really trying to destroy cities, right? And that's the battle, right? The Bible says our battle is never against flesh and blood. Our battle was not against Kamala Harris, as crazy as she was. It's good versus evil. It really is. So when you look at that, the Bible says the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Jesus comes to give us life and life more abundantly. So when you look at those Democratic policies, you're seeing killing, right? And they had free abortions happening at the DNC National Committee last year. You see destruction in the cities. You see the dismantling of everything's good. You see confusion. You weren't born male or female. You decide whatever the heck you want to be. I was in Seattle last weekend speaking at an event, and took my daughter up that Space Needle thing, and maybe interacted with 10 employees, 8 out of the 10 had these big stickers, please address me as they or us.
Wow.
And yeah, and I'm thinking, wow, like I get the service of 5 people in one person. That's amazing. So it's like, what the heck, So it's really, so that's the way that I see it. But in terms of real estate and wealth, you're going to see property values drop, and you're seeing that happen in largely Democratic run states and cities, but you're seeing the opposite happen in red states where the wind is at your back, so to speak, as a investor or business owner. So that's the way I see it, guys.
Makes sense.
Definitely.
So you think it got so bad because these cities aren't they aren't just, their faith isn't there, and they're just not, Christian oriented cities? You think that's the reason why it's so bad in these Democrat cities?
Well, it's a big part of it, but it's just lack of leadership. It's lack of true leadership, and to me, the ultimate leader was Jesus. And Jesus was a servant leader. That's what he modeled, right? He modeled putting people before himself. And when you look at these cities, you're seeing the politicians really at the expense of the people they are called to serve, padding their own pockets and creating wealth. How the heck do you come into, start as a senator earning 120 to 180 grand a year, and 5 years later, being worth over $30 million? Like, you'll never explain that happens through legitimate causes, at least to me. But I do believe I just, I am a pastor, but I'm not saying this just because I'm a pastor. I really truly believe that nothing will truly change in this country and in this world unless God's people initiate the change. We step into that territory. We bring light, we bring salt, we bring order. But the thing is this, guys, is that the Christian church at large is really just as broke as most of the country, right? So what I'm passionate about is helping people and equipping them with the tools to create wealth. To me, if we could get more money into the hands of God's people, it doesn't even have to be a Christian person that believes the way I believe, but somebody that wants to, not just make money for themselves, but have a greater good. Then we'll have more influence in these cities and be able to turn them around.
Wow, makes sense.
So, as someone that's listening, how can we break into real estate? What is the key? What is something we should know to start getting over some of these factors that you're mentioning?
Yeah, that's the question of the day, man. It's a great one. And the thing is there's so many misconceptions about what it takes to get started in real estate. I mean, you guys, you're gonna start investing. Teaching you guys personally, but let me ask you, what in your minds, what has stopped you from starting to buy real estate? What are the common things that you think?
Expensive.
Education.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know what to do.
I think the expensive part is probably the biggest barrier for most
people. You're exactly right. And I heard expensive, I heard money, and I heard education. And you guys nailed it. People think, oh man, Jeff, I'd love to buy some property, I just don't have a down payment, or my credit's shot, I can't get a mortgage, or real estate's just too expensive. And the thing is that's what I thought too, until I met a mentor years ago that literally just showed me that what's holding people back, it's not lack of money, because you don't need your own money to invest in real estate. In fact, if you have your own money, I'd still tell you not to use it and leverage other people's money and focus on return on investment versus lump sums of cash. So really, what we teach is, so the question was, how do people get started? And it's just, first of all, what you need to know is you don't need your own money. You don't need to have good credit, and you don't need to even start full time. A lot of people think, oh man, I just need to quit my full-time job. And you don't. I got started, I was a full-time employee, and I started investing in real estate about 10 extra hours a week, and was able to scale and grow that into something, full-time. But the reason that we have to get started as soon as possible is because the greatest way to create wealth is through real estate. 74% of all millionaires in our country became millionaires through real estate, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. And real estate statistically in our country doubles in value every 15 years. So, and there's so many benefits to owning real estate. The tax benefits are massive. I don't know. You guys remember when President Trump's tax returns were leaked, and he got lambasted in the media because he made over $2 billion, but only paid $900 million in taxes, which was very small relative to what he made. And they called him a crook and all that. All he did was just use the U.S. tax code and take the deductions that any of us can take. So most people spend their entire life working for money, trading the most valuable time with their families and all of that, just hustling, grinding, for a paycheck. And if you're an employee that just receives a paycheck or an independent contractor, you are the most heavily taxed type of person in our entire country. It shouldn't be that way, in my opinion, but I didn't make the rules. So, really, real estate, if you're looking to get out of bad debt, if you're looking to get out of a job you don't like, but bigger than that, you're tired of just always working for money and you want to learn how to get money working for you. Warren Buffett, I said it earlier, if we don't learn how to make money in our sleep, we'll be working for it the rest of our lives. And, as I'm sitting here interviewing with you, I own, over 3,000 units of property across the country that are working for me. That is, wow. I'm making money as I talk to you, while those properties are doing what they do. And what's great is, you guys have heard my story. I'm not, there's nothing special about me. It doesn't matter where you come from, black, white, rich, poor, none of that matters, old, young. Just, are you willing to get some basic education and take some action? That's it.
Wow. Don't you have a free training that is coming up?
Yeah. I'm excited because I'm doing it with you guys. So it's coming up. I can't wait. Yeah, next Wednesday, April 30th, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's called the Faith and Freedom Masterclass. And I'm sure you guys will share the link below the video or however you do it. But yeah, it's going to be 90 minutes. And if you're listening to this and you're just like, maybe money's causing you some stress right now. You got some bad debt, credit card debt, student loans, things like that. I'm going to be teaching what we call our active income strategy, to where you could start really with relatively little time and no money required, and not even having to own real estate. You can start generating larger chunks of cash, to take care of some bad debt or even replace your current income. And then we're even going to get into a simple passive income strategy that everyone can start implementing immediately, where you begin taking those steps to where money starts working for you versus that. And you might be thinking, well, I don't have any. If you're thinking I don't have any money to be working for me, again, you don't need your own money. So this class has really, this has been this. We have over 6,200 students across the country right now, and this is really the class that started it for all of them. And it's just amazing the success stories that we've seen come out of our community, and just the people leaving jobs they don't want to be in, creating passive income. It's just amazing. So you don't want to miss it.
Yeah, no, we're gonna be there for sure. I'm gonna be taking notes in the front row. So because I'm really trying to learn this stuff genuinely, because you embody a lot of the things that we want to be like. When we get older, you're a rich Christian guy with a good family. So that's exactly what I'm trying to be as well. Solomon brought that up last time. So I think that you're just like, your story is very inspiring. And as well as the reasons, your why for what you do, because like you said, at the end of the day, we're trying to get the money into God's people. We want God's people to have the money so that they can do God's work.
That's it.
So I just think that's extremely inspiring, and a lot of people can resonate with that.
Yeah. Well, you guys are going to go so much farther than I did. At your age, I had just gone bankrupt, and I was over $8 million in debt. And it was literally what I'm going to be teaching at that class. That was the starting point to bring me from there to, here. So I'm pumped for you guys.
Wow, and it's free. It's free.
Yeah.
So who would want free education?
And it's free.
You don't even need money when you
free 99.
Hey, you can't beat that. You gotta be there. You gotta be there. So next Wednesday, what time again?
5 p.m. Pacific, correct?
Yeah,
so that would be
5 p.m. Pacific.
That would be 3 p.m. Central, right?
What would it be?
No, that's the other way. So it'd be 7 p.m. Central.
7 p.m. Oh, yeah, y'all are ahead. I'm thinking
time.
backwards.
Everybody, you can go.
Okay.
While you getting off work,
join the webinar, and I think we're gonna learn. We're gonna learn something that we don't know, guys.
Yeah. What's the exact date again? Sorry.
April 30th.
April 30th.
Okay.
Yeah, let's say April 30th, Wednesday night. So, and then 5 p.m. Pacific. Let's see if I can do this. 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Boom.
There you
We'll
go.
be
All
there.
the time
There you go,
zones
baby.
covered.
Exciting.
All the time zones covered.
Let's make some money.
Yeah.
Let's
For
do
God's
it.
kingdom.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
Let's go.
All right, man.
All right, man.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
Love it.
Thanks for your
Appreciate
time,
you.
Jeff.
All right. God bless you guys. See ya.
God bless you too.